Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kira Snow. Today I'm going to be going over All Stars 9 episodes 6 through 10. So if you're interested in that, then keep watching. Hi guys, I am so very sorry that I have not been doing these episodes as regularly as I'm supposed to. I'm obviously very behind, so that's why I'm trying to cover 4 episodes today. I'm going to be putting chapters in between my reviews for each episode, so if you don't want spoilers, if you want to only watch different sections, then we can do that. This is going to be a little bit of a speed round because I don't want this video to be insanely long. And before we get into it, I just wanted to give a little PSA for everyone. I have been, actually one of my dear friends just got into a car accident, so please, if you're driving on the freeways or driving anywhere at all, don't forget to drive safely. You only have one life, so we gotta live it up to the fullest and be safe. Be smart, be safe, and above all, be courteous and considerate of others when sharing the roads. All right, now let's get into it. So first, let's start off with episode 6. We have the roast, and we also have the runway Atomic Blonde. We have our lovely queen of comedy, queen of roasts, Bob the drag queen. She gives a little spiel intro. It is, at first when I heard it, I wasn't amazed by it, but when I thought more and heard it the 3rd time, I was like, wow, she actually was trying to be very crafty and poetic with it. So now I appreciate it more. But I think she could have injected a little bit more energy into it. Sorry, I'm all about the energy these days. I think she could have gone more savage with it, or just had a little bit more substance, and then it would have really hit home, but it was still pretty good. It's a nice intro. And so I'm gonna be using just an A through F rating system for these queens. So for the roast, Chanel, I would give her a B+. I think she was almost rushing through it, so in that respect, she had good jokes, but if she had just you just pause for the audience to get it because they're pretty slow. I have that problem too because I tend to talk really fast, but if she had paused more, it would have been more successful. The other one who didn't do so great is Gottmik. I gave her a B- because I think she was going way too fast and her jokes were just a little too highbrow for these for this audience. I think we sometimes forget audience members are really dumb. They're just chilling, little potatoes, or they're not thinking too hard about anything at all. They're just here to have fun. So if your jokes are too highbrow for the average IQ of an American audience, then your things are not gonna quite take off. I have my little Starbucks here that I'm sipping. Sorry about that. We gotta get through, what is it? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 episodes is what I have to cover today. Why did I do this to myself? Seriously. I'm so sorry, guys. But let's keep it moving. We also have Roxy, who did pretty well. I gave her an A. We have Jorgeous, who I'll give, actually maybe an A+ to Jorgeous. I wrote A, but I feel she was really, it was really funny to see her as this thug guy. I really got a kick out of that. I thought that was amazing. And then the person who my look is today is in honor of is actually Miss Plastique Tiara. I tried to give a little Sailor Moon-esque vibe. I got the Sailor Moon shirt. I tried to do these little you know how Sailor Moon has little buns you can't really see them, but I was really trying my hardest. And these are actually little like spacey planet earrings. They're hard to see, but that's what my look is in honor of. Miss Plastique, I don't know why she dressed up as Sailor Moon. I kind of wish she like explained that, but maybe it was better that she didn't, because like she still did like really well. I gave her an A+. And then Vanjie, I gave an A. It's like Vanjie did really well. I think she was one of the most natural ones. Angie, I give an A+. She was super comfortable on the mic, super comfortable with the audience. She was just living her best life up there. And then Nina, I would give an A- because I think she was a little bit afraid of being too mean. I think she saw with Vanjie's set that this audience was kind of like a sweeter audience, like a nice audience. They weren't like, they were kind of booing with some of the more savage jokes. But so I think that made Nina a little bit hesitant when trying to say like these jokes, or for going for the jugular. But honestly, like, you just gotta go for it. Like, Nina did a good job like connecting with the audience and trying to like placate them, but I think if Nina had been a little bit more aggressive and going for the jugular with the delivery of some of her jokes, it would come off as more confident and less like, oh, I'm just trying to be the nice one. Like, yeah, we know you're nice, Nina. Like, you can apologize to these queens after you win the crown, not before. So that is something that I think she might benefit from. All right, and then for the runway, the tops were Gottmik and Plastique. Gottmik, I was really impressed by the kind of she did this thing with the makeup where she like painted it such that you could kind of see like there was like, you could almost like her skin was peeled back. That was like a really cool three-dimensional. It's almost like there's a special word for it. It's like special effects makeup. Yeah, that's what she was incorporating, which I don't always see a lot of drag queens do, and they probably should. It would really like elevate the looks sometimes. And then Plastique, I mean, come on, seriously, what she pulled out was so cool. I think her aesthetic is similar to mine, dare I say that. I mean, she is what I want to look like, not in a tricksy way. Like, I feel like I don't know, like, I think me and Plastique have the Asian aesthetic down, so that's why I feel like her style resonates a little bit with mine. It's just like, I don't yet have the time and energy to be putting into making my looks like that, but that's what I would like my looks to look like if I was a drag queen. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, for the bottoms, I would say it's Angeria. I didn't really, I think she tried to do this post-apocalyptic thing and it just was not giving. Another bottom was Roxy. I liked like some of the furs she had, but the mesh just made her like center of her body look big, and which otherwise took away from a pretty cool look. So I think sometimes it's just like she doesn't like style it quite right. Like, all the elements of a good look are there, but like there's just like one thing out of place that shouldn't be there. So I was a little disappointed with that about Roxy, but the mug was good. Alright, now we're going to be going over episode 7, and the challenge is meeting in the ladies room challenge. It's an acting one. The queens get to act alongside RuPaul and get to be slapped by her. So that is really exciting. I think a lot of these queens are pretty nervous going in because, you know, not all of them are amazing actresses. And then the runway is Widow Weep for Me. But first we're gonna go over the ratings for how I rated them in the acting challenge. Nina, I would give a 3.7 out of 5. I felt like her performance was a little bit one note. She came on like really strong. Maybe I wouldn't say, yeah. Sometimes I try to be too nice, but to be honest, it was a little one note. She had a little bit of a valley and peak thing going, but for the most part, it was just like one note. And it's like when someone's acting and you can tell like they're kind of putting on an air, it just wasn't super believable to me. So that's why I gave her a 3.7 out of 5. And then for Roxy, I gave her a 3.5 out of 5. Because I couldn't actually tell where she was looking at the camera, like something about her eyes and eyelashes, like it just wasn't really, I don't know, I felt like she wasn't evoking as much emotion as she should have. But it was still fun and entertaining to watch. Angie, I would give a 5 out of 5. Hers was really one of the tops, I would say. Like, she was just really funny, like when she was like fighting with RuPaul. I honestly, at the end of watching that, I wish they had a show together or something, or they should have a show together. Like, they have really good on-screen chemistry. And then Plastique, I would give like a 4.4 out of 5. I think she did really well, actually. I kind of don't like that she, like, you know, after she got slapped, she was pretending her jaw was broken. I don't know, I think the beginning part of her skit, she had a really good energy going, and then the later part, she tried to be, like, more kooky with it, and it just, I didn't feel like the scene was continuous. It was just, like, someone, like, tried to switch up their skit just for the joke, and it seemed too intentional. It wasn't like smooth enough of a segue for me, if that makes sense. And then Chanel, I would give her 3.5 out of 5. It was like she wasn't connecting with Rue very well. It was obvious that she was kind of out of her element, and the scene, it was just something was off with that, and she even knew it herself. At the end, when we hear the judges' critiques, Georges, I would give her a 5 out of 5. Hers was so much fun to watch. She was connecting with Rue really well, and I think she just really embraced the character role, and she did a great job getting slapped a million times. Gottmik was 3.7 out of 5. It seemed a little like I don't think she had enough fun with it, really. I don't know, in comparison to the other girls, it just wasn't as entertaining or memorable. Miss Vanjie's, I gave her 4.9 out of 5. She was pretty funny. I think she could have done a little bit more. She seemed a tad bit nervous, but, you know, regardless, like, I think the scene that they gave her is something like that could possibly happen in real life. So I think she was a natural at it, and it was fun to watch. One of the highlights for me was when Rue like slapped the whole crew, and like he does this thing where he like slaps someone and like spins once and slaps like 2 people on either side with like just one like motion. I'll put a thing here. It's hard to describe, but I love RuPaul in this challenge. Like, it's pretty iconic, this challenge. I'm probably gonna watch it again like after this. But the tops are Angeria and Nina. I don't know if it's just me and Nina's humor that are not clicking, but I do think she did a good job. She put in a lot of effort. I might change her 3.7 to like a 4. I'll give her a 4. Something about it was like a little off to me, but my humor is a little particular, so yeah. But Angeria wins, and now we're gonna jump into episode 8. So we have another design challenge. All right, we're on to episode 8. So we have a design challenge, and it's called Make Your Own Rusick, where the queens have to make a look based on one of RuPaul's famous songs, and then make a look based off of like the fabrics and materials given. So the queens get to choose their own boxes. The tops were Plastique and Gottmik, to no surprise. We also see Chanel gets the first pick of the boxes, but I was kind of disappointed with, well, not disappointed with Chanel's look. I actually quite liked it, but I think it was just a little heavy, you know. She kind of, it reminds me of like the morning after Christmas where you're like cleaning up and there's just like bows and everything everywhere. I think it was a comical look, but I wouldn't call it fashion forward. The ones I would call fashion forward is probably Plastique and Gottmik. Gottmik did this like braided look, which I didn't like her purse. It looked a little bit like crafty and not like well done, but her garment was very beautiful and like stunning. I could see like a lot of people like actually wearing that gown like out in real life. And same with Plastiques. Like Plastique, she made these like stars on the gown, and she had this reveal moment. Like, that was just an amazing garment that I think she should be really proud of. I don't know how she made that in that amount of time. She was hauling ass. Or hauling something. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but she was really going for it. And like, I'm just impressed with how much she can do in such a short amount of time. It is clear that this woman has a fire under her, and she is doing everything in her soul, in her body, in that she has to win this. And that has been abundantly clear for me from this specific challenge. Like, she poured her heart and soul into it. It looks stunning. Shout out to Nina West. Like, her look was very put together for someone who doesn't know how to sew. But I don't, this is one of the first times she actually looks like sexy. Like, she looked really nice, but I wouldn't say it's like anything super innovative. Like, as far as fashion, it's just kind of like, yes, it's a nice garment, you look great, which is not something we can usually say for Nina. So I think this was a great showing for her. Like, she can showcase, like, yeah, I can actually like sew a garment. But, you know, you're not here amongst other people who can't sew garments. You're here like with the Gottmiks and the Plastiques. So, you know, but nonetheless, like, good job, Nina. And then in the bottom we have, or for the bottom looks, I guess you could say, was Angeria. I think her look had a lot of conflicting ideas. It just was like odd. And it didn't quite come together all at the end. It wasn't like there wasn't like one cohesive vision. And then we see the tops are Plastique and Roxy, which makes sense. I think Gottmik could have been a good top as well, but Roxy makes sense. Her look was good too. And then we see Roxy cuts off Angie. This is like the snip wars. The theme of this season has just been Angie and Roxy cutting each other like back and forth, like, and they both are saying like, yeah, it's kind of an eye for an eye. Like, y'all are some salty bitches. Like, that is the tea. But I live for it. Like, we need some drama up in here. But anyways, now we are moving on right along to episode 9. So in episode 9, we see by this point Chanel still has 0 badges. We're more than halfway through the competition and she has 0 badges. I think that means on a typical season, Chanel would have been eliminated by now. And that's kind of sad. Like, I would be demotivated if I heard that. And, you know, I think we see Chanel might be one of those flowers that takes a little bit longer to bloom. But in these later episodes, you will see what happens. Well, I'm gonna go over it now. But anyways, so before I get ahead of myself, in the confessional, we see Angeria says that Roxy and her have been scissoring this whole damn season. They're like scissor sisters at this point, which I live for. Angeria is so funny. I think, you know, she needs her own TV show at this point. Like, she's hilarious. Like, anyone would love to watch her. But the main challenge this week is Rosemarie's baby shower. And the queens get to pick their own parts. And we see there's a little bit of kind of fighting over Angeria and Nina. They want the same part. And then Nina gets picked with, you know, Georges picks her name out of a hat. I really like how the queens are kind of behaving this season. They're not like being extra like, I don't know, catty. They're just like, they're like catty, but like not like insanely so. So I think that's cute. For the main challenge, I rated the girls with the A through F rating. And at the top, we have Plastique. I thought she did an amazing job as like the mom. I think, you know, typically Plastique gives very young vibes, but she was giving the energy and spirit of the mom. She was going over the top extra. She was doing everything she needed to do for this musical. She did an amazing job playing like the main lead, one of the main lead roles. And then for another person who did super amazing was Georges. I just think she's an amazing dancer. I think there's very few people who can pull off what she pulled off, and you know, in such a short amount of time. And I don't think anyone could have played the role of that as well as she did. And she has come so far from the first musical where she was kind of dead in the face. And it's funny because this next one, she's an AI doll, which is also dead in the face. But I think she really nailed the whole like robotic like look. Like, I was really sold on her part. And I think, you know, when people go back and watch this, they're going to keep watching like Georges' part and Vanjie's part, because they were both did phenomenal. Yeah, Georges is just an amazing mover. I already thought she was, and now just like I'm even more impressed. So props to Miss Georges. She really came through. And then Vanjie, I also gave her an A grade. Nina, I gave her an A also. I kind of wanted, with Nina's role, I wanted a little more. Just wanted a little more of her character to come out. I feel like either she didn't have enough lines, or when she did her lines, she wasn't, maybe she was rushing through them. I'm not sure. It just wasn't giving as hard as I feel it could have gave. And then Gottmik, I gave an A. She did a really great job in her role. You know, it seemed like it was perfect for her. I'm gonna change that to an A plus actually. Gottmik did really good. Roxy, I gave an A plus because she was really believable as a clown. You know, when you look at the musical, I was like, where's Roxy? Because I only know of that really scary, crazy looking clown. And then Chanel, I would give an A because she was really good and believable as her character, as that kind of like next door old lady woman. You know, I think she's supposed to be a mom, but like an older mom. And, you know, she was in character the whole time. She was really fun to watch because she was committed to her role 1000%. And Angeria, I gave like a B plus because, you know, I think she was still salty that she didn't get Nina's role. So you kind of see like her not being fully committed to it. I think she's mostly committed to it, but I didn't get the vibe that she was having fun. I felt like she was still, her mind was maybe a little bit elsewhere. I'm not really certain. Yeah, Vanjie, I would give an A. She did a really great job as like the devil child, I guess. Yeah, when she came out, like all eyes on her. She had great stage presence. She was killing it. So I think, yeah, it's really like splitting hairs because all the queens did really amazing. And then we see the winners of this week get to get a badge and give a badge out. So that is very interesting. So the runway this week was Pearls, and we see RuPaul is wearing a very beautiful white and golden dress. I actually love that dress. I kind of want it. But for the runway, the tops were Plastique, Chanel, and Vanjie. Chanel had a super cool look. It was like, you know, she took an interpretation that no one else did. She was like an actual like alien pearl looking thing. And then Plastique's was just gorgeous. Like, I saw that and I was like, I want my wedding dress to be a dress like that dress, like designed like that, just like that. It's perfect. It's perfect. That's my wedding dress. I don't know. I'm just obsessed. Like, Plastique, if you are watching this video, please make one for me like that. Just make it like 2XL size, like, you know, if, like, please. I mean, I know it's definitely like, it's probably gonna be out of my price range, but if you ever feel like, you know, hey, this is the season of charity, I have no problem accepting charities, so please and thank you. Maybe in my dreams Plastique will watch this, but in reality, probably not. But anyways, Vanjie's was also an amazing look. You know, she had like an actual like pearl, and then like the draping of the pearls was just gorgeous. You know, I'm really glad they did this runway theme because I was living. Pearls are gorgeous, and you know, these queens really delivered. In the bottoms, I would say Jorgeous is in the bottom because, I mean, I really loved her hair. There were pearls in the hair, but the dress just isn't impressive. Something about it is just, it's just not giving. So the winners of the week are Chanel and Jorgeous, and we see that they give their badges to each other, which is super smart. I mean, when asked why they did that, Chanel was just like, well, when queens were in the workroom talking about who would give who a badge, Jorgeous was the only one who said her name, which is true. So it's like, you know, Chanel's not wrong. Jorgeous is the only one who said she would give it to her. So, I mean, strategically, this works best for Chanel and Jorgeous, but, I mean, Jorgeous was the only one who spoke up. So, I mean, like, Jorgeous kind of got lucky, or maybe she was strategic, but, you know, Chanel is just doing, you know, right by herself, which is honestly the best thing you can do. All right, now to the next episode, episode 10. We have the Lollapalooza. This is interesting because I feel like the Lollapalooza is becoming like a typical like drag race thing. I wasn't thinking that it would always be like part of the seasons, but it's always like kind of strange when they throw a Lollapalooza in there. I think that's like a really easy way for the producers to sway the tide of the competition, because like it's very subjective who wins a lip sync. Like you can argue it really either way for a lot of cases. But nonetheless, I do love a Lollapalooza. I love lip syncing. I kind of do it a lot on TikTok anyways, so you know, she loves a lip sync. But anyways, there's like 3 rounds, and then the prize is, gosh, Jesus Christ, I forget the prize, but it's like, I think it's a badge or something. The queens compete, and we have a lip sync in Gottmik versus Angeria. Angeria wins. And then Vanjie versus Plastique. Vanjie wins. And I actually kind of disagree on that. I think Plastique did better. So that was really strange to me. I mean, they were kind of neck and neck, so you could say either way, which is why I say this is very subjective. But I thought Plastique killed it. And then in Nina versus Chanel, Chanel wins, which I do agree with. And here's where we see Chanel really shines. And I am so happy for Chanel. I was like waiting for her to like really like shine. And I think she, in this season, we see she is like one of those flowers that's taking a little bit longer to bloom. But my God, did she do an amazing job in this Lollapalooza? Yes, she did. She delivered. Props to Miss Chanel. And then Jorgeous and Roxy. Roxy wins, and she chooses the song Holding Out for a Hero by Bonnie Tyler. And I started like lip syncing and dancing while they were lip syncing and dancing, because this is my song too. I was living because I love Bonnie Tyler's I Need a Hero. I listened to it on the way to work, so I was just, I couldn't have been happier. Like, I was just like dancing in my room, and it was spectacular. So yeah. And then we have Chanel versus Vanjie. This is the second round of lip syncs, and then Chanel wins. And then we see Plastique in her confessional say Chanel is a dark horse of the competition. I might have to break her legs. Chanel, I mean, Plastique is hilarious in her confessionals, and that's why I say, you know, she's diehard for winning this, and it's like really fun to watch her confessionals. And the second round is Angeria versus Roxy. Roxy wins, and then the penultimate lip sync, round 3, is Chanel versus Roxy. And Miss Roxy says that, oh my God, it's the battle of the dolls, vintage doll versus the doll. And I love Roxy calling herself the doll. And it's so funny that she calls Chanel the vintage doll. Like, I mean, I know she's from like the first season, but it's still a little bit rude to call Chanel the vintage doll. But it's pretty hilarious when she says that. And we see the winner of the Lollapalooza is Miss Roxy. I do agree with Roxy being the winner. I was a little disappointed that Chanel didn't take her big coat off. You know, I thought that was a little weird, you know. You know, if she had taken it off, maybe she could have won. I'm a little bit fatigued by Roxy being like the lip sync assassin. Like, it's like, yes, girl, we know. But like, I don't know, I feel like that was an easy win. You know, if Chanel had, I'm really rooting for Chanel. Like, I know she's like the underdog, but you know, I just want to see someone beat Roxy in a lip sync, to be honest. Like, I think I could beat Roxy in a lip sync. I don't know why. Like, I get these crazy ideas in my head. Like, yeah, sign me up for Drag Race. I challenge Miss Roxy to a lip sync. I'm probably gonna get my ass handed to me, but like, you know, I don't know. I just want someone to beat Roxy in a lip sync. Please don't come for me, Miss Roxy. I love you. You did slay in this Lollapalooza. I don't know why I'm like, my voice is getting smaller and smaller because I'm afraid, as I should be. Miss Roxy is a force to be reckoned with. But we see that there's going to be a 2-part grand finale, and Ru says very reassuringly that anyone could still win the crown. So the badge count thus far we see is Roxy with 5, Plastique with 4, Jorgeous with 4, Chanel with 3, Angie with 3, Vanjie with 2, Gottmik with 2, and Nina with 2. So the competition is like all these queens are like really getting more like close to each other as far as badge count. You know, finally Chanel's on the board, and she rose up to 3rd like real quick, just like that, which I'm really happy for her. But I think Plastique is kind of right that Chanel is the dark horse. But for the top 3 spots right now, it would be Roxy, Plastique, and Jorgeous. So I highly wonder if that's going to change. I think Angeria could sneak in there very easily. I think it's going to be really hard to tell who that last spot in the top 3 is. It's definitely going to be Roxy and Plastique, but I don't know who that third finalist is going to be. I think it's a kind of a toss-up between Angie, Jorgeous, and Gottmik. Yeah, it's like a toss-up between those 3. I really don't know. But I'm really excited for this grand finale. I'm really hoping that I can post my reaction sooner than I posted, you know, this long reaction. But that does it for me and my review, going ham, catching up on all these episodes. I hope you guys like this video. Once again, I am so sorry for posting late. You know, it's just a lot happening in my life right now, but you know, I cannot miss this season of All Stars. We got Plastique giving these insane looks. We got Roxy and everyone else delivering these insane lip syncs and looks. So, you know, I just had to show up for my girls, and I really love watching RuPaul's Drag Race. It gives me life. It breathes life back into this very tired and exhausted body of mine. So I'm so happy to be able to review, and I hope you guys liked this review. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram. And I hope you guys watch the next video. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.